man, yo, I feel like the champion. Oh man, yo, I feel like the champion. Oh man, yo, I feel like the champion. I'm making sure they know me now, and I pray they never forget me and made it because they let me.
Yo, what's going on, fellas? I'm your host, Novell, aka Dewey Groove, aka man, keep your hands where my eyes can see them. So we're gonna get into a little bit of responsibility today, right? Carry your load. When you just kind of look at the political landscape and the way that our boys and even men are being treated or being viewed, you ask yourself the question, why are there so many men and boys adrift in America today? Unmoored, apathetic, lazy, somewhat feminized, and unmotivated. Well, our system, and we're talking about the educational system, political system, really just our whole culture is set up with a path for attainment. Go to college, get a degree, get a job, excel, get better jobs, retire, right? And when you line it up like that, women are cranking it out of the park. I mean, women are doing very well right now. They have the majority of attendees in colleges. They are in the workforce. They are making money. They are doing their thing. Women are doing very well. Whereas men are kind of struggling, right? And I think that the reason why women are doing so well is because they're agreeable, right? On average, women are more agreeable than men, and on the flip side, with men being so disagreeable men just won't do anything that they don't want to do, right? Screw you. I'll do what I want. I'll do my own thing. I'll go over here. I'll play basketball or play video games. I'll do whatever I want to do because that's what I want. But when you take these guys, young and old, and you sit them down and you ask them the simple question, well, what do you want? Right? What would give you meaning? And a lot of them will tell you whatever that is. I want to have a better family. I want to make a lot of money. I want to take care of my mom. I want to whatever. I mean, there's a lot of things that a person could want. So if you just kind of give them a structure or give them the ability to be able to pursue that, oh man, sky's the limit. Because what makes life worth living is the responsibility of fulfilling one's goals, whatever those goals are. I mean, it sure as hell isn't happiness, right? Everybody seems to latch on to, I just want to be happy. I want to make her happy. I want to be happy. But happiness is fleeting, right? You think about how many happy days, truly happy days you've had in your life. It's very few. Right? Most of those days or most of your days are routine, right? You get up, you go to work, you do what you have to do. You might play a little ball, come home, spend time with your family, go to sleep, wake up next morning, rinse and repeat, right? But those truly happy days are the days at the end of some type of a journey, right? Whether it's getting married, getting that promotion, winning a championship, being able to run a marathon, whatever. It is the fulfillment of that goal, that long suffered goal that really makes you happy. And it makes you happy for a brief amount of time. You might even take pictures. You might get a plaque. You might get some kind of a trophy. You might get some kind of accolades from the people that you know. But those are the happy days. Everything else is just life, right? And sometimes you have good times, sometimes you have bad times, but it's just life. And your fulfillment is what you should be striving towards as a man. A man has to decide that he's going to do something. You can't force that on him. And until that man makes that decision, he's going to drift. But the way that society kind of looks at men today, it makes it difficult. And this is actually very, very bad, very scary, that society views men who are responsible or taking responsibility as a bad thing. And, a man, once a man decides to lift his load, why would he lift a load if there's nothing in it for him? Right? If a man gets no credit for bearing responsibility, you can damn well be sure that he's not going to lift it. He's not going to do it. And, it goes back to kind of what I said in a previous video, that back in the day, guys used to get credit for taking responsibility of their family, of their life, of their village, of their town, of their community, whatever it is. They used to get credit in the sense of respect. They used to get it in adoration. They used to get it in the respect for their family and the respect for their kids, and their kids having the ability to be able to have a better life because their father and their father before them was honorable and responsible. But the moment you take that away from a man, now you're going to see a lot of men, especially disagreeable men, just throw their hands up and just say, I don't care. I'll just play video games. I'll get this low class pleasure fulfillment and I'll get it quick. I'll get that dopamine hit pretty quickly. And then I'll go take a nap or I'll go play basketball. I'll do what I want to do, and screw responsibility, screw getting married, screw having kids, screw all of that. And we're, right now the birth rate is at an all-time low in the United States. I don't think a lot of people realize that. Millennials just aren't having kids. They're not having sex. They're just not. It's all about activism and rights when it really should be about responsibility, at least from a man's perspective, right? A man will absolutely carry a heavy load as long as he gets to pick the damn load. The moment that you start telling guys that, they're a part of the patriarchy and they're misogynistic and toxic masculinity and it's bad to be white or black or green or Asian or whatever, you're going to create this cycle of self-loathing, and it's coming not just from society, it's also coming from the single mothers. And I'm not trying to rag on the single mothers, because if the guy's not there, the woman has to do what she has to do. Now we'll get into, the dynamic of, how some women kind of wage war in front of the kids with the guy. We'll get into that later. But if the guy's not there, if the guy's not strong enough to be there, then the guy's not there. The woman has to take responsibility. But a lot of them are forcing these feminist ideals onto their boys. And those boys are growing up loathing who they are and what they are. There needs to be a man there to roughhouse with them. There needs to be a man there to teach him how to be a man. But anyway, I digress. Getting back to responsibility, it's once you just grow the hell up and do something useful. Life is suffering and it's unfair. And there's going to be a lot of pain along the way. So it's easy to be resentful. It's easy to claim victimhood for life. But you need to resist that, fellas. You do. You need to resist it. And you need to carry your damn load. You need to man up. And I'm not saying that in a sense of, the misogynistic man up. I'm saying that in a sense of whether you're a man or a woman, really, you need to just man up and bear your load. Carry your own cross. Because if you don't, you're going to offload that onto somebody else. And now somebody else is carrying your load. And that's no good. And you can't just withdraw like a lot of guys are playing video games 8 to 10 hours a day because it's easy. Because you don't have to really interact with anybody. And if somebody is toxic, you just cut them off and move away. But you need to bear your own responsibility. First, you need to choose what's of value to you. Choose what you want to do. And then set your goals and then work towards fulfilling those goals. Now, I'm not trying to say that you can't play video games, because video games are a great escape. I play video games, but that can't be the focus of your life, right? You have to put video games in their context. You have to put them in their place. And you have to understand that video games are always going to be there. No one cares that you beat the 10th level boss with a flamethrower. No one cares. The only reason that that game is good for you is because it provides an escape. And, you know, in my case, it provides a way for me and my dudes to kind of get together and, you know, have some fun time together without having to physically meet somewhere. We can still get together and kind of pal around and do what we do. But it's that. So you could either be a victim or stand up and plan that funeral and be someone that can be counted on in times of crisis. Everyone can claim some form of victimness, but do you bear the suffering or do you offload it on to other people? Ask yourself that question next time you complain about how someone or something or some job or some government or whatever is treating you unfairly. Life is unfair, and it's always going to be unfair. There's no amount of legislation, there's no amount of anything, coddling, safe spaces. There's no amount of anything that's not going to keep life from being unfair. It's going to be unfair. The only thing that you have control over is how you react to that unfairness. Do you flip it and do you turn it to a strength, or do you just wither and die and just let the world just treat you like a victim and call you a victim and give you all of it? Don't be a victim, right? Carry your own damn load. That's it, fellas.